Service entrance in the back. My sister Rachel barked without looking up from her party planning clipboard. Staff isn't allowed through the main doors of the Grand Plaza. I glanced down at my Hermès bag, worth more than her car, and smiled slightly. I'm here for the party. Oh, I know, she smirked, finally looking up. You're the new event coordinator Mom hired. Like I said, service entrance. We can't have the help mixing with guests at Daddy's retirement party. My phone buzzed. Ms. Hamilton, property transfer documents ready. Once signed, you'll officially own the Grand Plaza Hotel and all associated properties. Current value, $1.2 billion. Rachel was still talking, reviewing her clipboard with the air of someone who thought party planning made her royalty. Make sure everything's perfect. The city's elite will be here and we can't have any lower-class elements ruining the atmosphere. Lower-class elements. Like the woman who owned not just this hotel, but half the luxury properties in the city. But Rachel didn't need to know that. Not yet. Ms. Hamilton, another message flashed. Your net worth updated. $8.4 billion with latest acquisitions. Forbes profile ready for publication after ownership announcement. I watched as my mother swept through the lobby, directing staff with practiced disdain. The owner's family deserves perfection, she was saying. The Hamiltons have been coming to the Grand Plaza for generations. True enough. Though she didn't know that as of this morning, the Hamilton family name was on the deed for very different reasons. Still working as an event planner? My brother James appeared, adjusting his Rolex, a cheap replica of the genuine article sitting in my office safe. Well, I suppose someone has to arrange these things. Though using the family name to get jobs is a bit tacky, Sarah. My event planning company had quietly acquired luxury properties across 3 continents, including every hotel and resort the Hamilton family frequented. Ms. Hamilton, my CFO messaged, final valuation of Hamilton luxury properties, $12.7 billion. You now control 60% of premium hospitality assets in the city. The service entrance is around back, James pointed with his chin. Can't have staff wandering through the main lobby. Bad for the plaza's image. The plaza's image, which I'd spent millions redesigning after acquiring it through a shell company last month. While they planned Dad's retirement party, I'd been planning something much bigger. Ms. Hamilton, another alert. Legal team assembled in penthouse suite. Property transfer ceremony scheduled for 3 p.m. during peak of retirement celebration. I watched as my father entered, surveying his domain like a king. The Grand Plaza, he announced to no one in particular. The finest hotel in the city. Some things are simply beyond certain people's reach. Like when he'd said luxury hotel ownership was beyond my understanding last Christmas. When he'd laughed at my interest in property investment. Sarah, my mother spotted me, her face darkening. I thought I made it clear you were to coordinate with the regular staff. Through the proper channels. The proper channels. Like the ones I'd used to purchase this hotel? The shell companies and holding firms that had allowed me to acquire every property they cherished? Ms. Hamilton, my phone lit up again. Wall Street Journal ready with headline. Secret billionaire revealed. Sarah Hamilton's $12.7 billion hotel empire. Rachel reappeared, clipboard clutched like a shield. The service entrance is clearly marked. We can't have people thinking just anyone can walk through the Grand Plaza's front doors. I smiled, thinking about the ownership documents waiting upstairs. In exactly 2 hours, they'd learn who really decided who walked through those doors. Such a shame, my mother sighed to her friends. She had potential. But some people simply aren't meant for our level of society. Their level of society. The one I quietly owned through carefully constructed property acquisitions. The hotels, resorts, and clubs they bragged about. All mine. Ms. Hamilton, my lawyer messaged, everything in place for 3 p.m. revelation. Your family's expressions should be interesting. I checked my watch. A custom Patek Philippe that cost more than their annual country club dues. 2 hours until they learned that the help they'd banished to the service entrance actually owned the entire building. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's watching them treat you like staff in your own hotel. The Grand Plaza's ballrooms sparkled with crystal chandeliers I'd personally selected during the hotel's recent renovation. Guests in designer clothing mingled, celebrating my father's retirement from a banking career he never stopped bragging about. Ms. Hamilton, my phone buzzed. Second wave of property acquisitions complete. You now own every luxury hotel in the Hamilton family's regular rotation. Rachel was holding court near the champagne fountain, probably sharing her latest party planning triumph. The owner personally approved my designs, she was saying. They know quality when they see it. I suppressed a smile. The owner had indeed approved her designs, right before ordering a complete renovation the moment she left the meeting. Sarah. Mom's sharp voice cut through the crowd. The seafood tower is 2 inches off center. Handle it immediately. Through the kitchen, of course. Ms. Hamilton, my assistant messaged, your interior design team has finished the penthouse suite renovation. The one your sister rejected as too ambitious last month. I watched as James led a group of bankers on a tour, his voice carrying with practiced authority. The plaza's presidential suite is reserved exclusively for elite guests. Some spaces are simply restricted. The presidential suite, which I'd redecorated last week, replacing the outdated design James had praised as timeless luxury. Still playing servant? My cousin Amanda sauntered over, champagne in hand. Though I suppose event planning lets you pretend to be part of our world. My world. The one I'd built while they mocked my career choices. The empire I'd created while they dismissed me as the help. Ms. Hamilton, another alert flashed. Forbes profile ready. Hotel Queen's secret empire. How Sarah Hamilton built a $12.7 billion luxury dynasty. The service staff should remain invisible, Rachel announced loudly, shooting me a pointed look. The plaza has standards to maintain. Standards. Like the new operational protocols I'd implemented across my entire hotel chain? The ones that would be announced right after my ownership was revealed? Ms. Hamilton, my CFO messaged, final numbers for today's revelation. Your hotel empire now spans 47 properties across 12 countries. Total value, $12.7 billion. Personal net worth, $8.4 billion. I watched my father accept congratulations from his banking friends. 30 years at Hamilton Financial, he boasted. Though some of us are simply meant for greater things. Greater things? Like building the largest privately owned luxury hotel chain in the country? Like acquiring every property they'd ever dreamed of owning? Sarah, Mom appeared again, pearls glinting. The owner's representative is arriving at 3 p.m. for some sort of announcement. Make sure you're nowhere near the main floor. We can't have you embarrassing us. The owner's representative. They only knew. Ms. Hamilton, my lawyer messaged, legal team in position. Property transfer documents prepared for dramatic revelation. Rachel rushed over, clipboard trembling with excitement. The owner is making some huge announcement. Probably about my brilliant redesign of the plaza's image. I checked my watch. 30 minutes until they learned whose image they'd really been redesigning. Sarah's still playing hotelier, James smirked to his banking friends. Though some people simply can't grasp the complexity of luxury property ownership. Complexity. Like orchestrating $1 billion property acquisition under their noses? Like building an empire while serving drinks at their parties? Ms. Hamilton, my phone lit up, Wall Street Journal standing by. Headline ready, service entrance to penthouse, how the Hamilton family's help became their landlord. The ballroom hummed with anticipation as 3 p.m. approached. These were the same people who'd spent years looking through me, past me, down at me. None of them knowing that every crystal glass they held, every marble tile they walked on, every luxury suite they coveted belonged to the woman they'd banished to the service entrance. 10 minutes, my head of security announced discreetly through my earpiece. Legal team entering through main doors. I watched as my family preened and positioned themselves, eager to impress the hotel's owner. The owner they'd been ordering around all day. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's watching them realize who really owns the kingdom they thought was beyond your reach. At precisely 3 p.m. the ballroom's grand doors opened. My legal team entered, led by Jonathan Pierce, the most prestigious property lawyer in the city. The room fell silent as they approached, carrying the leather portfolio containing the ownership documents. Ms. Hamilton, my phone buzzed, all news outlets standing by. Your empire's revelation will be breaking news in exactly 4 minutes. The owner must be here. Rachel squealed, smoothing her designer dress. Sarah, get to the kitchen before you embarrass us. I watched as my father straightened his tie, prepared to impress whoever he assumed owned his beloved Grand Plaza. The same plaza I'd bought while he was telling me I didn't understand luxury hospitality. Distinguished guests, Jonathan's voice carried across the ballroom. We're gathered here for a historic moment in the Grand Plaza's history. Sarah. Mom hissed. I said get to the kitchen. The owner won't want to see staff mingling with guests. Ms. Hamilton, my CFO messaged. Stock market's preparing for announcement. Your hotel chain's public valuation will shock the industry. Today, Jonathan continued, the Grand Plaza Hotel, along with its entire portfolio of luxury properties, officially transfers to its new owner, the founder and CEO of Hamilton Luxury Properties. Rachel clutched her clipboard tighter. Hamilton Luxury Properties? But that's the company that's been buying up all the premium hotels. The mysterious Hotel Empress, James added smugly. They say she owns half the luxury properties in the country. Half the luxury properties, including every hotel and resort they'd ever bragged about visiting. Every exclusive club they'd used to make me feel small. Ms. Hamilton, my lawyer messaged, ownership documents ready for your signature. Your family's expressions should be memorable. The new owner, Jonathan announced, has actually been here all day, observing the property and its operations. The crowd murmured excitedly, everyone looking around trying to spot the mysterious billionaire in their midst. Been here all day? Mom preened. Well, of course, they'd want to interact with the plaza's most prestigious families. Indeed, Jonathan smiled, his eyes finding mine in the crowd. In fact, she's been quite involved in today's events. Though perhaps not in the way some assumed. Rachel stepped forward, confidence radiating. Of course. She must have seen my brilliant party planning. Sarah, didn't I tell you to get to the kitchen? We can't have the owner seeing. The owner, Jonathan interrupted smoothly, doesn't need to go to the kitchen. In fact, she owns it. Along with everything else in this building. The room grew quiet as understanding began to dawn. Ms. Hamilton, my phone lit up. Breaking news alert ready. Service entrance to penthouse. The Sarah Hamilton story. Would the owner of Hamilton Luxury Properties please step forward to sign the final transfer documents? Jonathan called out. I moved toward the center of the room, each click of my heels on marble echoing in the stunned silence. These were the same people who'd ordered me to use the service entrance hours earlier. No. Rachel whispered, her clipboard slipping from nerveless fingers. That's impossible, James sputtered. Sarah's just an event planner. Actually, I smiled, taking the pen Jonathan offered. I'm the founder and CEO of Hamilton Luxury Properties. Owner of this hotel and 46 others across the globe. Mom's champagne glass shattered on the marble floor. Ms. Hamilton, my assistant messaged, your net worth just updated on Forbes. $8.4 billion. You are now officially the largest private hotel owner in the country. But you've been serving drinks. Rachel's voice cracked. Taking orders. Using the service entrance. I've been inspecting my property, I corrected her. Something every good owner does. Though I must say, ordering the actual owner to use the service entrance is a unique management strategy. Dad stepped forward, banker's instincts fighting through his shock. Princess, why didn't you tell us? We could have. Could have what? I raised an eyebrow. Treated me like family instead of staff? Recognized that maybe, just maybe, I understood luxury hospitality better than you thought. The ownership documents lay before me, ready for the signature that would make my ownership public. The revelation that would shock not just this room, but the entire hospitality industry. All those times. Mom whispered, all those times we told you to know your place. I did know my place, I replied calmly. At the top of the luxury hotel industry. You just couldn't see it through your service entrance. Ms. Hamilton, Jonathan announced formally, if you'll sign here, you'll officially be the public owner of the Grand Plaza Hotel and all Hamilton Luxury Properties holdings. I pulled out my Mont Blanc pen, the one Rachel had called an obvious fake, this morning. The ballroom was silent except for the scratch of my signature on paper. Breaking news, every phone in the room buzzed simultaneously, Hotel Empire revealed. Sarah Hamilton worth $8.4 billion, owns world's most exclusive properties. But the service entrance. Rachel stammered, her face ashen as she read the headlines. About that, I smiled, signing the final page. Effective immediately, all Hamilton luxury properties will have new staff entrance policies. Starting with treating everyone with respect, even if you think they're just the help. Ms. Hamilton, my phone lit up, CNBC breaking story. From service door to CEO, how Sarah Hamilton built a $12.7 billion hotel empire in secret. James pushed forward, his banking persona cracking. The presidential suite, when I was bragging about it, was mine, I finished for him. Along with every other suite in every hotel you've tried to impress people with, including that resort in Dubai you claim to have exclusive access to. Dad sank into a chair, his retirement party forgotten. All these properties, while we were telling you to find a real career. I did find one, I replied, watching the news alerts continue to flood everyone's phones. I became the largest luxury hotel owner in the world, while you were sending me through the back door. Ms. Hamilton, my assistant messaged, your sister's party planning company just lost their contract with all major hotels in the city. Apparently, their clients prefer working directly with the owner. Rachel's phone rang, probably her biggest client canceling. After all, who would hire a party planner who had ordered the hotel owner to use the service entrance? Sarah, Mom stepped forward, social survival instincts kicking in. Darling, we should discuss this as a family. Perhaps over dinner in the plaza's penthouse. The penthouse? I raised an eyebrow. The one you said was for real luxury clients only this morning? That penthouse. My phone buzzed again. Wall Street Journal. Hamilton family shocked. Daughter they banished to service entrance owns their favorite hotels. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan addressed the crowd. Allow me to properly introduce Sarah Hamilton, founder and CEO of Hamilton Luxury Properties, owner of the Grand Plaza Hotel and 46 other luxury properties worldwide. The room erupted in chaotic whispers as my family stood frozen, watching their world reshape itself around them.